Hey guys, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope y'all are getting ready for Sabbath. I know I am. I already got some food in that crock pot. We're going to eat before the sun sets. We're not going to eat during Sabbath because we feel like it takes too much time away from studying and everything else that we're supposed to be doing during Sabbath. You're supposed to rest and keep it holy, sanctify that day. So, in sanctifying yourself, what do? We usually fast. So, anyways, I wanted to give a review on this book. This is one of the books that Big Judah was talking about. And this one right here costs $10. It's not that big at all. It's actually fairly small. And there's another book that I wanted to get. Let me see if I can get that in there good. The Lost Book of Og. This one is $25 on Amazon. And anyways, so this is just my personal review. But before we can get to this, I need to explain something to you guys, okay? A scribe. What is a scribe? I'm sure most of you already know this though. A scribe is a person who serves as a professional copyist, especially one who made copies of manuscripts before the invention of automatic writing, or printing, my bad. The profession, previously widespread across cultures, lost most of its prominence and status with the advent of the printing press. Okay, so now we basically know who a scribe is, right? Somebody who would write things down. Well, also, what were scribes known for? Let's say I had a scribe here at my home, and I wanted somebody to follow me and write down, like, I want to write my memoirs. I want to write about myself and how my life was. And so the scribe will follow me, and as I'm talking to them and telling them what to write, they're basically going to put whatever I want them to write because they're serving me. So they're going to write about, like, how beautiful I am and how perfect how perfect my hair always is. And we all know that ain't true. And look at my picture. I purposely did that picture because it looks like I put my finger in a light socket. Anyways, so they're gonna talk about her hair is always so perfect. Her curls are always set just right. So that's basically what scribes were known for. They would follow particular people around that were supposed to be like men of renown. When you study Greek mythology, a lot of that stuff was just like super amped up stuff by the scribes. Somebody can go to war and they could be like a total weenie, and killed within the first 5 minutes because, like, they're just retarded. You know what I mean? They fell off a cliff, and the scribe is gonna write that, like, oh, so and so was such a noble man and he fought to the end, and So that's usually what scribes tend to do. The reason why I'm going about that is because I want you to catch something on here, okay? In this book, it talks about, okay, this book right here is, let me begin it, okay? It begins with the translations, and it explains that it was translated by a student. Someone from the archives at the Vatican was able to bring out some of these writings to be translated. There are also others, the one that I showed you previously, and then there's supposed to be more after this. Okay? I hope I have this clear so that maybe you can pause it and read this for yourself. And then, so in this book, it goes into talking about Lamech. Not our Lamech. Lamech from the line of Cain. And one thing, if you notice, this was the first page, into it. It touches on it real quickly, something that we already knew. Cain, the forefathers of Lamech, who was marked with leprous whiteness. For God had said, whomever slays Cain shall have vengeance visited upon their head sevenfold, right? And then, okay, another thing, let's see, over here. Let me move my finger and come in here. That way maybe you guys could pause it and take your time to read it. blah, blah. The land touched by Cain and his marked descendants was brought into desolation. Do you see that? And so that lets you know right away. It fills in an answer that we already knew, but because there's so many naysayers, this actually, you know, lets you know indefinitely that the mark was what we always knew it was. That he had his color taken away from him. He was leprous. I don't remember what writing it was, but it talks about as Satan was thrown from the heavens, all his beauty was removed from him as well. All his jewels and everything, including his beauty. You know, his beauty, that includes his color, that was taken away from him, which is why he was so pale and disgusting and, you know, just freakish looking, you know, here on earth, you know, because his beauty was removed from him. So, let's see. I know I'm focusing more on getting these pages in because I really want you guys to be able to see this stuff for yourself. So anyways, in this book, as you read it, it touches on, it seems to come from Lamech's point of view. And it touches on Lamech and Yuval the giant, being the great guys. They're such good guys. They try to learn from Jared, our father, and they tried to walk in righteousness and do everything that was right. Oh, look, it touches here again. Cain with the leprous white marking. You see there? And so, I know I lost track because I'm just really trying to like make sure that you guys can get these pages, pause it whenever it gets to the page you want, read it, and then unpause it and go to the next. Okay, it touches on Lamech being a good guy, Yuval the giant being a good guy, kind and loving, and all these other soft, gooey things. And so then it goes into it that it tells you that Lamech's daughter, a daughter of Lamech, which was Naamah, that she was the wife of Noah. And then it starts to get like pretty crazy. And it talks about how Naamah was basically like a whore. She got turned out by the giants and she became a deep ditch. And then it even says that like Noah was not always a good guy. That Noah walked in great sin as well. So what does that lead you to believe? Because like we already know for a fact. Okay, let's just think common sense right here. How could Noah be given the priesthood of Melchizedek if he was not in righteousness? We already know also from reading that Noah was one of the ones that stayed on the mountain with his fathers. You know, the ones that stayed in righteousness, that didn't want to go with all the wickedness, right? So that right there opened my eyes and let me know what's right and what's wrong. You know, hold on, something's wrong right here. Why would they say that about Noah? And why do they talk so bad about his wife? Like they get into it when they're talking about the dirty deeds of Naamah. They get into it. So with that, you know, it kind of lets you know they're bashing these people. They're lying. It's not true what they're saying. So what is it? It's what we've always seen. The bad call themselves good, and they call us bad. That's exactly what it is. And so and in here, of course, Lamech makes himself and his buddy out to be the great guys. Everybody else is bad. However, what you can take from this book is I'm not saying just, okay, well, why even read this book? It's not worth anything. I'm not saying any of that because guess what? you can at least be able to get a great idea of what was going on at that time and how everyone else was like. Of course, you see here in this book where Lamech, he's just this amazing guy, but he's real quick to talk about how like all the rest of his people were just nasty and foul and disgusting and doing all these evil things. He'll tell on everybody else, but he's gonna cover his tracks. So it's just letting you know kind of like where that scribe was at and what he was getting at. I really want to speed things up, but I want to like make sure that whoever might want this can get it. So let me try to go a little bit faster. So this will overall give you a good idea about the times and what was going on in those times. The story, however, take it with a grain of salt, because clearly the bad labeled themselves good and they labeled the good bad. Clearly they were angry that Nama went to go be with Noah. And so I hope that somebody found this useful, and I hope it'll help you guys with your studies.